All right, so body language. We've talked a number of times on this channel about it's not so much what you say, it's how you say it. Now on top of that, I should also say how you're standing, how you're moving, your body language communicates more to the woman than anything that you could possibly say. In fact, it's so important that you can tell a guy is confident just by looking the way he stands, the way he moves. It either shows that he's a high value guy or a guy who's shy, unconfident, and not secure in himself. Chances are, if you haven't focused on your body language, it's probably not very good. And the reason why is because our body language, our posture is getting worse. We're staring at our phones all day. We're looking down. We're not talking to real people. And so we don't know how to move. We don't know how to stand, how to have good posture. So in this video, I'm going to talk about all of these things, how to get yourself to look more confident when you're standing, when you're walking, and then how to move as well, how to have that swagger about you that really confident guys have. Few people know how to walk with confidence, even fewer people know how to have that swagger. This is going to put you in the top 10% of guys out there. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so in here I'm going to be talking about how to have good posture. The way to have good posture is to have correct posture. Now, as you can tell, I'm a pretty skinny dude, so I don't have a whole lot of mass. If I have good posture, there is a marked difference from me having poor posture, which is just, me kind of hunched over, like my shoulders back or something like that, just walking around, to me looking like this. I stand bigger, I look bigger, and I feel bigger when I'm talking. So if you find yourself with your shoulders hunched over and your head here, get your head back, round out your shoulders, and then you should be standing up as tall as you can be standing. I'll focus on this, and that's the first step, is noticing your posture. Maybe you can videotape yourself, or you can take a picture of how you normally stand. I guarantee you it's probably not what you think. So do that, focus on it, and at the same time you can do a few tests right now to see how good your posture is. One of the ones that I like to do is take your thumbs like this, put them at your side, relax them normally, and see if the thumbs point into each other. So my thumbs, you can't see, my thumbs, if I bring them up, they're kind of like this. So relax normally, they're kind of like this. Now a lot of people's thumbs, they're going to be turned all the way horizontally. Now that's bad. What that's going to do is it's going to round your shoulders out and bring them forward. So what you want to do is develop your shoulders, pull them back a little bit, so that when you bring your thumbs out, they're not completely flat and they're tilted up a little bit. Probably, more like this. One of the tools that I like to use to be able to do this is this. So I'll put a link in the description below where I bought it from this guy named Athlean on YouTube. I'll put a link there. And it's basically exercises that you can do that will strengthen your back and that will get your shoulders to go back too. And you can also fold it in half like this, put it around yourself, and then what this is going to do is it's going to bring your shoulders back. You can hold it, leave this on for like 10 minutes out of a day or something, or however long you want, and that's really going to give you good results. So that's how you start developing good posture. Now in the next section, I'm going to talk about all the things that guys do wrong. All right, so now I'm going to talk about submissive gestures. These are some of the common things that I see guys doing that, when you look at them, it makes them look insecure, not confident, and one of the first ones that I'm going to say is putting your hands together like this. The more you bring your hands in, the smaller you become, the less confident you look. So if you have your hands in your pockets, if you're used to kind of, just walking around like this, all of these types of things indicate that you're not secure in yourself. The people who seem more secure or seem more confident, they tend to take up a little bit more space. So that's what I invite you guys to do. So take your hands out of your pockets, put your palms out. This allows you to gesture a little more. This allows you to see how much room I'm taking up just by doing gestures. So take your hands out of your pockets, put your palms facing forward. What that's going to do is, like I said, is open up your shoulders a little more, and it's going to make you look a little bit more presentable and open to people. And this is a better, more confident, more sociable manner of conducting yourself. One of the things that makes guys do these sorts of actions is always having their phone in their pocket or checking it constantly here or doing stuff like that. Look, if I have my phone in my hand, I'm using it, I'm moving it around, or I might bring it up here, or I'll do that sort of stuff. But if you're always looking down at your phone, I feel like this develops bad habits. Another thing that I see guys doing a lot is they're fidgeting. Now this is not to be confused with gesturing. I move a lot when I talk, but I'm moving with my upper body. If you notice, my feet are staying planted. They're not moving right now. They're staying in the same spot. Generally, in a conversation, if you get a guy who's like doing this a lot, or if he's like moving back, it freaks the other person out. Like, it makes them nervous. You know, it's like, dude, what's going on? Like, are you nervous about something? Are you scared? Like, it makes the other person nervous too. So keep your feet planted. I would put them, you know, a little bit more than shoulder length apart. Remember, take up more space, get your palms out. That way you can gesture and move around here, but we're staying centered. And staying centered is pretty important. You want to look like you're secure, your feet are planted. That way if somebody like pushes you or something like that, or you get pushed back, you're staying secure in your space. And that way if people don't nudge you over, like when you're in a bar or you're in a club or something like that, if people are pushing you over all the time, you know, from side to side, the girl's gonna notice that. So to look more secure, to look more confident, be firm in the space that you have. Plant your feet and try not to move too much. Now, this is not a complete rule, but I guess it's more of a guideline, and that the person who fidgets around less during the conversation usually has a little bit more power. All right, so now we're going to talk about the final element, which is swagger. Swagger is how you move. Now, I talked a lot about how you stand, maybe some of the gestures that you do, but swag is how you carry yourself. Basically, swagger is moving with confidence or moving like a man, however you choose to interpret it. I think women can have swagger too, but I think it's usually associated with men. So what we can do in this case is when you're walking, so if you walk with a little bit of this, that's swagger. So if you notice there's a little bit of a roll in my shoulders. Now I emphasized it for this video, but when I'm walking, I usually walk with a very, very slight amount of roll in the shoulders. Now the guy who does this perfectly, if you want an example of a guy who does this better than anyone else, it's Daniel Craig. Watch any movie where that guy's walking, James Bond, what's that other movie, Layer Cake, any of those films, Daniel Craig has swag for days. Well, that's it on the basics of body language, you guys. Hopefully from this video you saw how to have correct posture, how to not do those submissive gestures, postures, and stances that we talked about, how to move like a man and have that swagger element we talked about as well, and how to make sure that we're taking up more space so we can look more powerful and be that type of guy that women love. I'm gonna leave you with just one last tip, and that's if you're having trouble, I know I covered a lot in this video on what to implement, try just moving a little bit slower. Whenever you're gonna walk, whenever you're gonna do your thing, try moving just a little bit slower, move at your own pace, don't be in a rush to get out of other people's way and stuff like that. That shows a little bit more power in your body language, and that'll help you out in your everyday. So try that out if you're interested. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. If you wanna take your results with women and you're serious about them, if you wanna take them to the next level, I coach guys on this all the time. For guys out there that are having a lot of trouble, I was like this too when I was younger. That's why I got a coach, and that's why I encourage guys to get a coach like me right now. So if you're interested in that, email me at TheSingleGuy2017@gmail.com. Thanks a lot, and good luck out there, you guys.